Today we are discussing Shelly Flood Gen4. Miro, the product owner and absolute expert, is with us. So we are very curious to see and learn about this product. It's very interesting. It's definitely an amazing product that we are about to launch to the market. So Miro, just take over the presentation and show us all about Gen4, the Shelly Flood Gen4.
Thanks, Shani. Okay, hello everyone. As always, we are very excited to show you what will go to hit the market soon. My plan for today is to basically tell you about the basics of the product, how do you mount it, how do you install it, share with you a couple of use cases, not all of them, but maybe some of them that will ring a bell faster. And then we're going to switch to a demo to show you how the device actually works, how you can configure it, and things like that. So, the basics. Shelly Flood Gen4, the goal of the Shelly Flood Gen4 is to alert you when water appears where it shouldn't. And here, with this device, it's not in just one spot, but across your entire space. Why? Because this device uses a leak sensor cable instead of pins. If you remember, and if you have used Shelly Flood Gen1, it uses pins to detect flood. This device is unique and it uses a leak sensor cable. If you look on the picture on the right side, the thing in the middle is the device, and the thing on the left, the cable on the left, is the leak sensor cable. This is actually the sensor that detects water. And the great thing about it is that you can stack several cables up to 150 meters. So that's about the cable. About the flood. This time it also comes with two modes called flood detection and rain detection. Think about it this way. The flood detection will raise an alarm, and the rain detection you can use just to report the state change. So if you get a flood, you always get the flood event, but with the rain detection you won't get the alarm. For example, if you use the Shelly app, you won't get the alarm, but with flood detection you will. The flood detection itself has three alarm modes for different use cases. We call them intense, normal, and economic. And these three modes actually affect the buzzer. Why the buzzer? Because the buzzer is one of the things that have impact on the battery. And we want to give you a way to control this, to control your battery life. Intense mode, it's for critical assets. This means that the buzzer is frequently buzzing, so it assumes that there are people around and someone will hear it. Normal is, think about it as a balanced buzzer. It's for everyday use, and it's like the balanced way to use your device. Economic, buzzer is off, and this is perfect for vacation homes. Think about places that you want to track and to trace and to see if there is a flood, but it doesn't make sense to have a buzzer on there because it's no one there to hear it. So you use economic, turn the buzzer off, and you have a longer battery life. As you already assumed that this device is battery powered for uninterrupted operation, it comes with 4 AA batteries, 1.5 volts. The average lifetime of the battery is up to 2 years. You know that this depends on many things, but 2 years is a solid proposal, like a solid promise. On top of that, device is IP44 rated, IP44 protected, so it's very robust to use. And of course, this is a Gen 4 device. This means you can use it with Zigbee, with Matter, with Wi-Fi, and with Bluetooth. So it pretty much works with almost everything out there. So these are the basics. How does it work? So how to place the device. Usually you place it vertically. You can see it on the picture on the right. This is the place here is a garage. You place it vertically. Usually we expect everyone to be like the good case is to place it like 1 meter over the ground, so you make sure it doesn't get flooded if something happens. But the way to mount it on the wall is to use either the wall mounting kit or the provided adhesive tape. The wall mounting kit, as always, it's 2 screws and 2 wall plugs. And the great thing is, and I was going to show you this during the demo, is that the device comes with a slider for easy removal, so you can slide it in place and remove it. You don't need to remove the adhesive tape or the screws. Okay, you've put it on the wall. What's next? Next thing is to connect the cable. And actually, We give you two cables. You already heard about leak sensor cable, but there's one more. The first one you see on the presentation is called the extension cable. This is not a sensor cable, but an extension one. The goal of this cable is to bridge the distance between the Flood Gen4 and the ground. So imagine that you have put the device 1 meter over the ground. The goal of this cable is to use it, if you want, it's optional, to use it just to bridge the distance to the floor. So you don't waste your leak sensor cable, the actual sensor cable, to measure nothing in the air. Again, the extension cable is optional. You don't have to use it. It's just something that will make your life easier and improve your sensing capability with the other cable. Again, the leak sensor cable, it comes in the set, it's a 2 meter cable. It detects water along its full length. I'm going to show you this during the presentation. It's flexible and easy to install. It's ideal to put under appliances, along walls, or across larger areas. Think what you can do with an extended cable of 150 meters and just a single device. Practically, you can monitor your home and every part of it. And if you came up to this part, it's good. You're good to use it, but in local mode. The next thing is to connect it to your favorite smart home system, configure it, and if you want, you can run some actions, scenes, routines, whatever your smart home system calls it. And now, think about the many use cases you can do with this device. And these are just 3 of them. But you can do much more. One of them is, for example, to protect your home away or vacation property. It's perfect to put under sinks, dishwashers, or washing machine. And the reason is that you don't have to put the whole device down there, but just the leak sensor cable. And with single device, you can basically cover all of your appliances at once. And whenever there is a leak, you're going to catch it. And of course, you can combine this with, for example, the smart valve and run a scene where the smart valve can stop the water if a flood event happens, or with Pro Series to stop the electricity in that part of the place, if it makes sense, of course. Another thing, protect your stored assets. Think about your basement, your attic, your garage, where you store the assets you use rarely. And look at the picture. The great thing now is that, yeah, you can cover your whole place with the leak sensor cable, but this time you can also put the leak sensor cable around the assets you have there. So you have notification no matter from where the water comes from. You don't have to think which is the place where the water will leak. You just can go around everything and make sure you get it. And again, here you can combine it with things like Shelly One, like the water valve, and other things, depending on your use case. The last use case is for the rain mode, the rain detection mode. Again, I'm going to remind you, the rain mode, the difference between the flood mode and the rain mode is that with the flood mode, it raises an alarm. Again, if you're using the Shelly app, you'll hear this siren that's telling you that something has happened and you have to go there and check. The difference is that with the rain mode, it's going to just tell you that there is rain or dry. It's going to just report the state change. But that's not an alarm, it's a state change. So this thing is perfect for the outdoors, for example, for patios, for decks, for sitting areas, or to control your sprinklers. Think about the outside. You can put the device outside and to detect if it's raining. And if it's raining, you might have an action that puts down your awning down, so your outdoor furniture stays wet. Or maybe you can decide that if it is raining, maybe you don't have to put the sprinklers on today. Maybe you can save on water and let the rain do the job. And these are just some of the examples. Think of the plethora of use cases you can do with a sensor like this. And actually, that's what we want to ask you right now.
This is, something that we definitely would like to raise as a question to you. And if you can just grab your phone and scan the QR code and let us know how you would use actually Shelly Flood Gen4. Having your answers will definitely help us a lot. So yeah, just we are giving you a couple of minutes. Scan the QR and write your answer. And yeah, looking forward to your answers.
Yeah, and while we're waiting and giving you time to scan the QR code, just to give you some idea about the demo, we're going to use the web interface for the demo because I want to show you a couple of things there. The device actually is already integrated with the clouds. We decided because I'll tell you what I want, why I decided to use the web interface today. Yeah. Whenever you say, Shania.
Okay. Can we show the?
There's one more slide. After one, after this.
I know. Yeah. Let's just wait. Wait.
Right.
Perfect. Okay, we do have answers already, which is amazing. Okay, household device, washing machine, dishwasher, irrigation protection, normal leak detection, some answers. Okay, thank you very much for using the QR. We will definitely take a deeper look into this information that you are sharing here. Perfect. Okay. Outdoor hot hub for leaks.
Yeah, that's a good one actually.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe you have the QR code. You have time until the end of the webinar. You can add your suggestions if you don't have something in mind right away, but something comes up to your mind by the end. So, okay, perfect. Let's go forward then.
Yeah, and just one more thing before we move to the demo. I just wanted to give you everything we talked so far in a nutshell. So again, the Shelly Flood Gen4, its goal is to alert you when water appears where it shouldn't, and this time not just in one spot, but across your entire space. Because it uses this leak sensor cable instead of pins, and these leak sensor cables, they can stack up to 150 meters. The device supports two modes: flood detection with the flavors, remember the intense, normal, and economic, and rain detection. The difference between flood detection and rain detection is that rain detection just reports state without raising the alarm. It's battery powered, it's IP44 protected, it's Gen 4, which means you have Zigbee, Matter, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth. And I believe you already figured out that we have a plethora of use cases we can use it with. So let's move to the demo.
Perfect.
All right, just to figure out where the camera is. Okay, this is the device, guys. And this is how you usually mount it. It looks like this. And this is the slider I told you about. Basically, you take this part and attach it to the wall like this. You either with an adhesive tape or with the provided wall mounting kit. And the way you put the device is just slide it in like this, and it stays like this. And if you have to service it in the future, for example, clean it or have to remove the batteries, you just slide it out and that's it. All right? And this is how the device looks when it is closed. The way to open it is, you see maybe there is an opening right here. You need a screwdriver. You put the screwdriver here in the opening, push into it, and as soon as the upper shell opens, you just make this move, like this. Super easy to open. This time we made it a bit tough to open because we want this device to be IP44. And we have to put some rubber components and other stuff and overmolding materials to make sure that this is going to be achieved every time. So these are the batteries. The device already as I mentioned, comes with batteries. In real life, you just have to remove the tap and the batteries will start working. Okay, and the way to close the device, just put the shell on and push it until it clicks, like this. Okay, let's move forward. I just want to show you the extension cable. I'm not going to use it for the demo because I don't have enough space here to be able to show you also the other cable. But this is how the cable looks like. It's just a normal cable. that you plug in the device, and after it, you can put the leak sensor cable. Just give me a second to get it, okay? This is how you plug it, like this. All right? It's actually the other way around. You have to plug the leak sensor cable into this one, like this. And this is how you stack the cables. This is how you can stack a total of 75 leak sensor cables to achieve the 150 mark. All right? I'm just going to put this aside. Okay. I'm going to plug the cable into the device. And I want you to see that the moment I plug the cable into the device will activate and it will report the state that the cable has been plugged. This means that if, for example, your cable doesn't have contact with the device, you will know about it. It is going to raise an error that the leak sensor cable is unplugged. So let's do it. I'm plugging it in. Okay, it detected it. It connects to the Wi-Fi and reports the data. Currently, my device is in Wi-Fi mode, not Zigbee mode, and it reports the data. I can show you how this thing looks on the web interface. Just give me a second. All right. Oh, sorry. One important thing, the device is asleep, of course. To wake it up, I push the button once. Red means that it still haven't connected to a network, and this yellow-green means that it's connected to the Wi-Fi, and green means it's connected to the cloud. And right now, you can see that I'm touching the cable with my hands, and it's partially wet. That's why it activated. And actually, when I do this tests, the way I show you how I wet the cable and it starts to buzz, I decided to use wet napkins and not water just to prevent these potential splashes. All right. Okay, and you see it's dry. I'm going to remove the cable and I expect error to appear that the cable is unplugged. I'm doing it, okay? And you see the cable is disconnected, cable is unplugged. And this is very, very, very crucial because if you don't have this error into it, you won't be, you see that you don't have a flood, but actually it might be because your cable is faulty for some other reason. So I'm putting it back in. And you see that it's going to change to connect it. Here it is. The reason you might you see that there's some delay in the reporting is because the flood sensor is checking the cable state every 5 seconds. We've done that in order to preserve battery life. And for example, during the demo, you might see that at some point I wet the cable, but it takes some time to turn on. That is the reason. This is like the best, we decided to do it every 5 seconds, not every second, just to preserve battery. And every 5 seconds is good enough. Okay, I'm putting the device to sleep. Remember that I forcefully woken up the device to show you everything. The way I put it back to sleep is to click twice on the device, like this. Okay, now it's asleep. Okay, let's see if I can trigger a flood alert. Okay, this is like a wet napkin. Why I'm using this one and not a glass? Because I want to show you two things. How precise the sensor is, because this is not pure water, but a wet napkin. And on the other hand, not to have some splashes around and to not trying to figure out which part of the cable is wet. Okay, I'm touching it. I expect it to start buzzing and to report its state. All right. It reported its state. Now, because the device is asleep and I want to show you what the web interface is showing, I'm going to wake it up with a single push of the button, like this. All right, it's connected. Now I'm going to show you what you see on the screen. you see this flood event right here. It says flood. We also have a flag if someone muted the alarm. So when I push once on this LED button, I will mute the alarm, and after that, the device will send notification that the alarm has been muted. And this way, you can easily know that somebody heard this device, saw there's something going on, and decided to act. Okay, I'm doing it. I'm pushing it once. It stopped. And you see that now I see flood muted. All right? Yeah, I'm just going to release now this wet napkin, the paper towel out of the device, and I expect here to start seeing dry. Yeah. Have a look at this. I removed the wet napkin. It immediately went to dry. I didn't have to clean it up or to remove the water droplets myself. This is one of the great things about this type of leak cable sensor because it dries very quickly, even if you get it out of water. All right? I'm just going to, something important, when I woken up the device, it will stay in a wake state for 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, it will go back to sleep. Because I want to restart this 3-minute counter, I'm going to put it back to sleep and then wake it up again because I want to show you one configuration in the web. Okay, remember, 2 times, I'm putting it back to sleep. Okay? Now I'm going to wake it up again. Single push. Okay. Now we are connected. I'm going to show you something on the interface. Okay. When I click on the device, like this, I clicked, I go into alarm modes, and here are the different modes I told you about. We've also added a brief explanation about them. Let's try economic. What I expect to happen during economic is that it's going to raise an alarm, but the buzzer will stay off. Remember, this is a good mode for vacation homes, where you know there's nobody there, nobody to hear the buzzer, and you want to preserve battery and only to receive the remote reporting. Okay. Okay, and this time I want to do something different. I'm going to add another cable to extend the current one. Just bear with me because I need to plug it, and each one of them is 2 meters. Something very important, you shouldn't cross the cables. If you cross them, if the cable touches itself, it might close the circuit, and it might trigger a flood event, which will be a false alert. So when you put your cables anywhere on the floor or somewhere else, make sure they don't cross each other. All right, let's try the other one. I'm going to connect the 2 like this. Okay, here. Okay, here. Like this. Okay, fine. I'm trying not to cross them very carefully. I'm getting the end of this second cable. I'm going to wet it like this. And I get a flood event. Do you see it? Do you see it on the screen? And there's no buzzer. Why there's no buzzer? Because I put the economic mode. This is the thing for the vacation homes. So now I'm going to remove the wet paper towel out of the leak sensor cable, and it's dry right away. Okay. I'm going to remove this extension because it's very hard for me here because I don't have enough space. Just a second. Okay. All right, like this. Should be good. Okay, I want to show you something else. And it's another use case that we saw coming. Just a note before this. I won't show you the rain right now because in the web interface for you, it will seem similar to the flood in economic mode. But maybe actually it's going, just to show you that it's different. If you remember, now when the cable flooded, it showed that it's flood, and just the device just went back to sleep. that it's flood, and when I go to rain mode, it's actually going to tell you it's rain, that it's raining, that it's not a flood but a rain. Just give me a sec. Okay, the device woken up. I want to go into it. Come on. You can imagine that in our office we have like hundreds of Shellys around here. And the environment here is very competitive for the Wi-Fi. But we will get there.
And I just would like to let you know, thank you very much for your all answers. We do have some great use case ideas here. Later on, we can quickly review them if we have time.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go into rain mode just to show you that it shows a different icon. That's what I can do in the web right now. All right, now we are in rain mode. I will show you how it works now, and I'll show you how the device works when it is powered down, that it's when it is sleeping. All right? So I'm going to put, again, the wet paper towel on the cable, like this. And you see that I see rain. This is just remember, rain is to report state change. It's not an alarm event. Okay? I'm going to put back to sleep. The web will be gone because the device is sleeping. And in the real world scenario, your device will be sleeping like it is right now. And when the water touches the cable, what the device does, it just wakes up, reports, and then goes back to sleep. And I want to show you this right now, okay. Remember, it's checking every 5 seconds. Okay, it's reported. Okay. If, for example, during report, your router is down, or your Zigbee coordinator is down, or something happened on the network, the device will retry. When you detect a flood event or a rain event, the device retries in a predefined way, which you can see in details later, and it retries several times until it succeeds. But it is configured in such a way that it will try several times, that it will stop, and after some time it will retry again, just to make sure that your data gets there. And I just want to show you one more final thing in the configuration. This is something that we added very recently due to the feedback of one of our people from the community, from the early access. And it's another great use case. This is something we call state hold time. And we figured out actually that we can detect, thanks Wi-Fi, that we can detect water even without physical access. And for example, if you have a basement with a very high humidity, and very high is usually over 80%, and if you want to track for flood there, the device might still catch these small droplets of water. And if you have a very humid environment, like a garage or a basement, especially underground areas, we've added a feature called state hold time. What this means is that before state is, if a new state appears, the same state needs to stay active for the predefined amount of time before it is being reported. What does that mean? Is that if I, for example, show 15 seconds there, I put the device to sleep, I wet the cable, it will detect that there is a flood, but it will report after 15 seconds have passed. And it's a great use case for high humid environments, and you should definitely try this. I have the same use case at home, trust me. It works miracles. This is the things I want to show. One final thing. This device is different than the other Gen 4 devices we have, in that it has the single firmware for both Matter and Zigbee. And you can see that in the firmware, you have Matter and Zigbee in the same firmware. So basically, to enable one of them, you just disable the other, and that's it. You don't need to switch firmware. You don't need to do anything. It's like a configuration, and that's the final thing. I suggest we move to the questions.
Okay. When we start with the questions, can we just open the QR code for a little bit once again? So if someone else wants to add their suggestions, because we did receive some great ones. If someone else wants to share, feel free. Okay, we do have a couple of questions. Feel free to use the chat to add all your questions that you might have for Shelly Flood Gen4. We're going to start now in a bit. Okay, let's go forward. Okay. So the first question is it battery only? I think the answer here is...
Currently it is battery only. We're thinking, basically it's up to you guys. If you demand it to be powered on, if there's enough users wanting it, we'll do it. It was something we were discussing a lot, but so far battery powered device gives a bit of independency, and we've made sure that if your battery is getting low, you're going to hear about it. I mean, if your battery is under 25%, it's going to give you a lot of alarms, and also it will start buzzing, similar to a smoke detector.
Okay, perfect. So only battery at the moment.
Yes.
AA standard batteries, 4 of them.
Yeah, absolutely standard
Perfect.
batteries, AA batteries.
Nice. Which length does the extension sensor cable come in?
There's currently one in the set that you're going to get. It is a 2-meter cable, and if you want to extend, you can take an accessory which is just the cable as a separate box. Currently, it's one cable. One box is one cable, but this might change in the future.
Okay, great. How long the battery will last in the Wi-Fi mode?
Wi-Fi mode is about 2 years, and there's several things to keep in mind here. How far away is the device from the Wi-Fi? Basically, what signal strength it has, how often it has to turn on or off, and is the buzzer on. But on average, it's safe to say 2 years.
Perfect. Another question. So here is the expected battery life for the different protocols this time, not only for the Wi-Fi.
Basically, it's safe to say that you can, look, we're saying 2 years, you can achieve much more. We try to give like a balanced way of usage. A balanced way means that you have at least some alarms during this time, you have bad network, you have some misses in the network and things like this. So with Zigbee, especially depending on other factors, it can be a bit more. But still, think about it as 2 years. It's use case dependent, you know.
Okay. The next question, once again about the power. There are some battery adapters to plug them into a wall socket that should work with the floods. So we do have a link here to a specific.
Yeah, can you open it?
Of course. Amazon is a suggestion from Amazon. I don't know what exactly is that, but
okay.
Let me just. Oh.
Yeah, I'll check it. I haven't seen something like this, to be honest, so I'll check it. And yeah, maybe we can answer after that, because I have to check it and see what do you mean.
To review the brand, the actual product. How can the next question, I'm moving to the next one. How can I change the communication mode Zigbee, Matter, and Wi-Fi? Is also the web browser GUI of Shelly device? 2 ways
to do it. One way is via the web interface that I've shown you. Basically, you have to go into the web interface and say enable Zigbee. The other way is you wake up the device, click 3 times the button. So 1 time to wake up the device, and then you click 3 times, and it will switch to Zigbee and directly go into inclusion mode, basically looking for a coordinator.
Okay. Perfect. So the next one is, let me just go and see. If I use multiple extensions and the connection is interrupted somewhere, will there be an alarm or only when disconnected at the source?
Right now, it's only when it is connected to the source. There are several reasons for this. Because if you do it in other way, you might have some false positives due to changes of the polarity of the cable. The way this thing works, just to give you an example, when you get it and look at it, you have a conductive polymer coming around it. And there are actually two of them. They go like a DNA helix. And when water touches the two of them, it changes the polarity of them, and it's like a shorting the circuit. And in different environments, and when you plug additional cables, there are small differences. And yeah, we can take and understand these differences in normal conditions, but when you put it out there in the basement, when there is other things like different kinds of humidity, different types of water, this might go sideways. So that's why we decided to put it on the source.
Okay. Perfect. A question from Leslie. If you power it externally, then you can also do Bluetooth relay. What is the Gen4 specifically functions, or is Gen4 just naming?
Gen4 means that every device that has a Gen4 at the end of its name means that it supports all four technologies: Bluetooth, Zigbee, Wi-Fi, and Matter, and as a protocols. The other thing is that it's currently battery operated, and it's not a good idea to use it as a Bluetooth gateway because it is asleep most of the time. In ideal conditions, if there is no flood detected, the device wakes up every 12 hours to send a message that it is alive. So if there is no flood, you might not hear from the device, continuously hear from, you get this keep alive signal for every 12 hours, but it will be just 2 wake-ups per day. So it won't be a reliable Bluetooth gateway. Basically, with battery-operated devices, it's not a good idea to use them, and you cannot use them as a Bluetooth gateway. If, for example, we decide to do a constantly powered version, it will be a different story, but with battery devices, you cannot do Bluetooth gateway. From practical perspective, it's a device that's asleep 99.9% of the time.
Perfect. The next question is to me. Will this recording be shared? Yes, the recording will be shared with you over to the email that you have registered with. Automatically, you will receive a recording by the end of today, or Monday is the latest. So, and also to mention that we do upload all the external webinars like this one to Shelly Academy YouTube channel. You can re-watch all the previous ones and the upcoming ones there, and this one, of course. So yeah, the next one is, let me see. I'm assuming this is Matter over Wi-Fi and not Matter over Thread. Is this correct?
Yes, you're correct. This is Matter over Wi-Fi.
Okay, actually, Nicola already answered this. Thank you very much, Nicola. Yeah, communication in the chat is ongoing. Thank you very much, team. So if you use an extension and the extension is unplugged, we will not know that. Yeah,
I explained it earlier. You'll be notified if the problem is at the source here.
Okay. Can the detection cable be placed in a metal pan without issues? Is this the same as crossing the cable?
You can, because in this way it won't self-influence. In another use case, this reminds me of one use case that one member of our community did. It's actually, he took 35 or 36 meters of cable and actually put it around the water pipe, and basically turn around the water pipe, and he uses it to detect if there is any leakage on the water pipe. And it works. It doesn't have false positives or things like that. So you can definitely try it. It works like this.
Perfect. And the next question is very standard. Well, when will it be available for ordering? Thank you, Kurt.
Yeah, hopefully very soon. Very soon.
Very soon, yeah. Once again, like with the other products that we present, we can't really disclose the dates, but the fact that we are presenting the product, it means that we are close to launch 100%.
Yeah.
Any news about this type of devices as a Z-Wave?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know right now what's the timing for this. I have to check.
Yeah. Some system reports the location of the Flood will be an update or upgraded device.
Report.
Some systems reports the location of the Flood. Will that be an update or
maybe I assume that you mean that if you're going to get an update at which length of the cable the Flood is detected. I will assume this is what you're asking. If it is, it's no, you cannot do it right now because this requires a different kind of leak sensor cable.
It
maybe,
was confirmed.
yeah,
Yes.
maybe at some point we'll add this as an additional accessory.
Okay. Okay. And where on the cable sensor?
Yeah.
How much is a voltage? How much is a voltage? Is it safe to place this sensor in baby's pampers?
Oh wow, I cannot answer this from the top of my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Price point is the next question.
Yeah. This is again, you will learn this on the release day.
Okay, perfect. That was the last one actually. We don't have any other questions.
Yeah, but the question with the baby's pampers is good. I would check this. I promise you.
Bionic diapers, new product. Okay, perfect. We don't have any other questions in the chat. Feel free to ask while we are still here. If not, you can always reach out to us through our emails, through our Facebook community. So yeah, overall, definitely we will answer. Facebook community is the great place, in my opinion, to ask questions. Okay. Perfect. That's it. As I mentioned, the recording will be uploaded to YouTube and shared to your emails. Thank you very much for being here with us and looking forward to the next webinar, which is soon. BT Home Components is the next one on 25th of July.
See you there.
Thank you, Miro.
Thanks, Shania. Bye, everyone.